of you this morning.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Well, let's get to our Drive Safe campaign, brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Ghana Company Limited. Toyota, superior quality. So avoid all distractions. Keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel, and that's how to ensure your safe arrival. When you're free, you can also search, the hashtag Drive Safe campaign on Instagram and watch videos of how road accidents are taking life. Some 200 lives lost in January 2022 alone. We need to be very serious when it comes to ensuring our safety on the roads.
Indeed. Right, let's learn how to say it right. It's brought to us by Korba Payment App. Korba, our lives simplified. And Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability is their hallmark.
Something must be done.
You know, I saw a rather nice Valentine gift package on Instagram yesterday. It comprises a bottle of champagne, some cologne, and a Cuban cigar. I thought it was perfect. I also thought it was the perfect sauce for today's Say It Right. It's time to learn the correct use of the word comprise. C-O-M-P-R-I-S-E. Comprise. It means made up of or consists of. And it comes from the old French word compris, which means contain. Now, let's discuss the correct usage of the word. Ghana comprises 16 regions, not Ghana comprises of 16 regions. There is no need to add the word of because comprises means consists of. That means the word of is already included in the definition. And you wouldn't say consists of. Now, would you? Certainly not if you aim to say it right. The number of times I've heard someone say, oh, it comprises of. Comprises of. Drop the of. Why? Drop that of. All right then. What's in the papers?
Yes, lots of issues in the papers. This one, let's start with the Business and Financial Times. And brands' content must speak to values, according to panelists. Now, World Bank readies new partnership agreement, and Asenso Boachi receives audit report on government-landed property. And two local agri-tech firms signed partnership to deliver $500 million world-class organic produce. That's all on the front page of the Business and Financial Times. And finally, at the back page, Investcorp pays courtesy call on Otumfo, and NPA secures police support to stop illegal fuel trading and harassment in Upper East.
Now, the Finder is reporting this morning, we will see Ghana out of the woods. That's a World Bank speaking there, which should be an interesting conversation in the future. You know, we've been contemplating how do we get out of our current, if you want to call it crisis or difficulties or whatever you choose to call it, still we are in something. And that's on the front page of the Finder. There's good news. Dr. Ismail Aka is acting executive secretary of PURC. So Ismail Aka, I knew him when he was at UPSA. Yes, and he went to ASEP for a very long time and moved on to, I think there's a planning ministry along the line, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a planning ministry along the line. So now he is, the young-looking Ismail Aka is now at PURC. Okay. Hopefully, he would represent the interest of we the consumers more because of his background in civil society and also having been in government. He understands how both will also operate properly, and he would make sure that our interest is always put ahead of
what
the
is
big
he, board
institutions.
member, board chairman?
No, he's acting executive secretary.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's on the front page of the Finder. NPA solicits support of security agencies to end smuggling, and that's also on the fuel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll end it.
Well, fuel and its issues.
All right, so that's on the front page of the Finder.
Let's get to the Ghanaian Times for this morning. Apiati explosion. Government slaps Maxam company with 6 million fine over breaches in manufacture, storage, and transport of explosives. So we're told of a 1 million administrative fine and 5 million based on agreement with Maxam. Now, Maxam says because of its commitment to the people of Ghana, it decided to pay an additional 5 million. The ministry, in the statement, which we'll share with you shortly, would also tell us why they did that. But also on the front page, take advantage of employment opportunities within YEA. That's the CEO urging OT youth and attempt to serve Asin North MP with injunction motion and successful. But one that would catch your attention or you'll be interested in this morning says World Bank Group earmarks $1 billion support for Ghana under new country partnership framework. And it talks about how the World Bank Group intends to mobilize up to $1 billion to support Ghana's socio-economic development efforts under a new country partnership framework being developed by the bank. And we're told that subject to approval of the World Bank Group board at its forthcoming meeting, the partnership, which is to last for about 4 years, would require that funds be used for projects in areas including energy, education, health, and agriculture. The World Bank Regional Vice President for West and Central Africa, Usman Diagana, disclosed this at a press conference held in Accra, and this is a quote attributed to him. In the next couple of weeks, the World Bank will be presenting at its board a new CPF. One of the key goals of the strategy is to create conditions for a strong private sector growth, build resilience of the population, economy, and community, support reforms that would lead to job creation, and secure the development path that Ghana is on.
Now, the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning. Radio presenter, the front page first. The Muslim story is here. Ghana National Fire Service targets 5 minutes emergency response time. And that's on the front page of the Daily Guide too, with obituary for boss CEO invoke fear. So apparently people are writing before the man actually leaves office a farewell message. And that's terrible, isn't it? Yeah. And some people also sending reefs, like the one they put on what do you call it? The
Coffins?
Yes, coffin and all the other things they do at funerals, almost making it look like we are sending you away.
So they are sending him a signal. It's like they are threatening him.
Yeah. They're invoking fear
in him.
Yeah. But I don't know. If you don't want him, but what? I don't know.
But if he's doing the right thing and you think that it's affecting you, leave the company.
Okay, that's in on the front page. But there's a story on page 6. Radio presenter jailed 14 days for contempt of court, and this radio presenter is with Accra-based Power FM. His name is Ohineba Boama. He's been given 14 days imprisonment for contempt. The convict had claimed the president had influenced some justices of the Supreme Court after declaration of the presidential election results. The court, presided over by Justice Elfrida Denchi, found the radio presenter guilty of scandalizing the judiciary and bringing its name into disrepute. Apart from a custodial sentence, the court also slapped him with 3,000 cedi fine. The court's decision followed an application by the Attorney General to the court, and this will be running for some time now. This application was filed in December 2020. The AG urged the court to put the man in prison for alleging that the president had met 8 justices of the Supreme Court, including the Chief Justice. Now, the said meeting was to influence the judges in the event of any election. Now, I've seen the statement from where the gentleman used to work. They're saying that they are saddened by this development and that they are speaking to their lawyers and would or may pursue all the alternative available options to them. There's one more story from the Supreme Court, though. The Supreme Court has thrown out Lawyer FIFA. Lawyer FIFA is the one, he is seeking to stop disciplinary proceedings against him by the General Legal Council. Mm-hmm. You know, there was he was a lawyer of a chief whose case they dragged in the Chief Justice.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the Chief Justice asked the General Legal Council to investigate the matter. Yes, and he was seeking to stop these proceedings against him. And that's why he has to actually go to court. But the Supreme Court threw out his case yesterday too. So those are the updates from court. Yeah.
Right. Just because you mentioned the journalist who has been jailed, it has reminded me that yesterday we mentioned the case of Eric Nana Jetua of Connect FM. So he's part of the Media General group. And there was a story that he was beaten by some policemen. We know the IGP contacted him personally and said that he will oversee the investigation. But this is the kind of thing that there must always be outrage about. It's not a crime to be a journalist. And why the police feel that they can lay hands on a journalist is something that just should be completely discouraged. And I wish that we spend a bit more time talking about this. And let's see if we can find time for that later.
Sure, we will. Let's get to the daily guide, and government hits back at Mahama. Canada MP bodyguard attacks bailiff. also on the front page. And Maxam fined $6 million. And also on the front page, LGBTQI plus bill bad for the economy. That's according to a forum that was held yesterday. Jan launches book in April. We're told that Samoa Jan will be launching his book in April. And West Ham blasts Ket Zuma for hitting his cat. Yes, I mean, there's a video where he was hitting his cat, and he's been blasted by West Ham for doing that. And Senegal, guess tomatoes welcome. You should see how the people.
The Joseph Lovers Association. You haven't said anything about.
Oh well, jurisdiction is different from ours.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I mean, we must appreciate laws in other jurisdictions.
Okay. But in principle, you are not against the hitting of a cat.
No, I'm not against the killing of a cat.
No, hitting.
Killing.
Hitting.
I said I am not against.
But this
the
is
killing.
a case of cat hitting.
And I am saying I'm not against the eating of a cat, so you have to kill it.
He has moved from killing to eating.
So you have to kill it and eat it. That's why I said I'm not against the killing of a cat.
And animal cruelty.
Which one is animal cruelty? You don't eat fish. You don't eat chicken. Wasn't that one also killed?
As an aspiring vegan, by now you should know that
I've
moved beyond those
You
ones.
will aspire forever.
And take a cue from Senegal. It's also on the back page. And the Agbogbo Mafia of the Sogli state. Dogbe Afede meets Grand P. You know Grand P?
No.
The Guinean musician, Grand P. This is Grand P. Grand P.
A man almost
Grand P,
like
yeah.
a monk.
This is the guy who has
An interesting girlfriend.
Yes. I knew you were going to go there.
That's what I remember.
The Ghanaian Observer is reporting this morning Ghana is not facing any liquidity challenge. That's Deputy Minister John Kuman's picture is here. So apparently he said it. And there's one about Lands Ministry fining Mazam. That's also here. AU tax Moody's to review Ghana's ratings appeal, and that's also here. But we got clarity, right? Yeah. So the man in charge of the financial sector at the Ministry of Finance says that we don't have a problem. We are not straining relations with Moody's or any of these rating agencies. We just want our position heard on this matter clearly to the investor public and all who are reading this. The interesting part was whether or not it was personal, whether the inexperience or the lack thereof of the woman too was part of the conversation. So it was a very excellent conversation on PM Express last night. You should have watched it.
Anyway, I watched it.
Yeah.
But you see, the point is this: what Moody's said about the economy, is it true or not?
Look, I think.
Why are you looking at me? Why you want me to say something?
I think it is still par for the course for government to seek to mount a defense. Mm-hmm. Because whether or not it is true, it has implications. Mm-hmm. And whether or not we object also has implications. Yeah. Because it may well be that the details that Moody have put out there are factual, but there may be more facts that Moody did not put out there, which would influence an investor.
The only difference is that the letter we put out, in fact, the contention, there's no problem with the state objecting or even appealing or even raising concerns. The crux of the conversation was about the tone and the content of the letter. Now, that was the difficult part that was actually in contest.
Now that's an interesting debate. Yeah. That's an interesting debate because you see those details about the tone of the letter and the accusations that Ghana government is throwing at the person who led, the creation of the report. Those do not speak to facts. They do not speak to whether or not the Moody's report is true, as Winston, is positing. Those complaints have nothing to do with whether there is truth in the report or not. You say she's inexperienced, but is the report true? You say they sat at their desk and did it, but is the report true? You see, so I would have liked to see a defense that either adds facts or challenges the ones that were put out by the report. But she's not experienced today. Inexperienced people can really not do a good job. Are they incapable of doing a good job?
Yesterday, during our discussion with John Kum, a few things came out clearly. For instance, the 20% revenue cut. You have statutory payments that you have to make. Mm-hmm. You can't cut those ones. You can't cut wages and salaries. You can't cut interest payments. You can't cut amortization. Okay, so you're left with goods and services, and you're left with capital expenditure, for instance. Okay, all of these things taking you to some 23, 24 billion Ghana cedis. That's where you can cut the 20%. And they ask the question, can you, for instance, cut down on capital expenditure? Bearing in mind that, you have political implications, so the socio-economic demands of Ghanaians. You're talking about an e-levy which was supposed to have started on the 1st of February. You have still not been able to implement it. And so based on that, under the prevailing circumstances, these are the doubts we're casting about your economy, and hence downgrading it to what some have termed as junk status, because your ability to pay your debts is becoming difficult, or would likely be difficult for you because of where you've reached as a country. Even though the same report says you have never defaulted in the payment of your debts, and they do not think that you default within the next year or so, but you are at risk, high risk of defaulting. And what that means is that when you go out there, if I'm an investor, I'll give you a high interest rate because I know that you're a very risky client.
Now, let's not forget, this idea of government speaking against ratings agencies, it tends to adopt a certain political color sometimes. Wasn't it just in 2020 that Kojo Nkrumah, the Minister for Information, praised Moody's for their ratings when there was a Meet the Press at the ministry? I mean, I think we have it here. Let's listen to what the Information Minister said on that occasion.
Of Ghana welcomes the change in the nation's economic outlook from stable to positive by the Moody's rating agency. The economic management team is very pleased at this outlook change and commits to do more of the things that have ensured that we are now on this path. The change in outlook is a very important development, especially in the context of our ratings history over the years.
Yeah, so Kojo Nkrumah there. But this time around, though, they have reason to doubt the quality of Moody's work.
But last year they also raised concerns about what they call it, ratings and the ratings agencies' work. In fact, it was referenced even in the statement by the APRM that was issued yesterday or so. But can we move on to the other one?
Yes, let's move on. Let me do the Chronicle. Says Luke chapter 8 verse 17, for there's nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. And the splash says, according to a writ filed in court, Kasapreko engaged in alleged tax evasion. And it's also here that Kasapreko lawyers write to the Chronicle. So if you get to the center spread of the Chronicle, for instance, it puts the writ here. And the lawyers of Kasapreko, this one by J. Ayikweotu says that the thrust of the story being that in the year 2019, Kasapreko Company Limited imported goods worth several millions of US dollars and British pounds and euros without proper documentations. He says, my clients further instruct me to say that though the story refers to a suit involving them, they are yet to be served with a writ under reference so as to have the opportunity to respond appropriately. And the unfortunate position is that your reporter did not contact my clients for their side of the story. And he continues by saying the explanation already given to the investigating agencies is that the difference in the importer declaration form was due to the GCNet system which was used at the time, which did not permit or allow them to use the initial IDFs used earlier to transfer funds to be used again to process imports that come in partial shipments and imports. Thus, my clients had to generate new IDFs through the Ministry of Trade platform to process the next shipment. It says, in the circumstance, my clients have instructed me to demand that, in accordance with constitutional provision and dictates, you publish this as a rejoinder, which has been published in the Chronicle.
Okay, so let me move on to the Daily Graphic. There was an outstanding story to do with a 6 million Apiagia explosion payable to government of the Republic of Ghana. So, quick explanation. The statement issued by the ministry first told us that after the review by the Minerals Commission, there was a subsequent body that did the other review. They submitted their report to the ministry, and the ministry engaged Mazam in this case. The engagement was pretty much so 1 million as the fine, an additional payable amount being 5 million.
And we'll
so
talk more
together,
about that
the
later
payable
on the
is
show.
6 million.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on the show. Right now, the online review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest, and Goyle Good Energy, not forgetting Enterprise Life. No matter how much you make for a living, Enterprise Life has life solutions carefully crafted for you. Enterprise Life, your advantage.
And can you feel it? Can you feel the love in the air? Oh yeah, I'm sure, Kojo, you feel it, right? As the Zenith Bank month
Raymond
of
feels
love.
it.
Grab your Zenith Visa card, spend more and win each week. Now that's simple, cry. Zenith Bank is full of love this February and is giving you loyal customers lots of goodies. All you have to do is to grab your Zenith Visa prepaid or debit card, spend a minimum of 1,000 Ghana cedis or more each week and win big. 10 customers be rewarded each week with Zenith Love Hampers, and at the end of the promo, the ultimate prize of a weekend stay at the plush Labadi Beach Hotel, dinner for two at Campiski Hotel, and Good Time Spa at Newbie Spa. So grab the Zenith Visa card and get spending now. Promo ends on the 28th of February 2022. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
So Goyle has good news for you. Goyle is rewarding their prepaying Go Card customers with 2 pesos discount per litre on fuels. You also enjoy discounts on lubricants at Goyle stations across the country. Elevate your goodness by joining Goyle Go Club today and enjoy up to 3 pesos per litre discount on fuel. Amazing discount on lubricant purchases as well, and free life insurance cover provided by My Life Insurance. Accrue and contribute loyalty points to a social group to fund an approved CSR project, and above all, enjoy exclusive Goyle branded campaign gifts. Join the Go Club by visiting any Goyle station or office or the website registration.goyle.com.gh and all Goyle social media platforms. And of course, you need to join the Go Club now. Goyle, good energy. Yeah, yeah, on myjoyonline.com. It wasn't a statement I made anywhere. Roads Minister on converting toll booths to washrooms. We'll find out if that's true later. Right now it's time for the BBC News.
Brought to us by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, British Airways, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
This year, I will plan my finances. This year, I will not waste money. This year, I will start investing small for me and my family's future peace of mind. This year, no, it will be because...
It go be is not a plan, oh.
Financial independence is possible. Think smart, invest now. Call EDC now on 0302 634 165 or send a WhatsApp to 0595 235 065 to get started on an investment plan today. Alternatively, visit any EcoBank branch or sign up online at ecobank.com/SWAM. EDC Investment Limited, a member of the EcoBank Group.
I nearly gave up on driving out of frustration. What hadn't I done? Purging, replacing electrical parts, changing my fuel pump, and still the engine noise in my car won't stop. Then I met this guy who said I should try Goyle Fuel. By the way, my name is Thomas. I did try Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Now my car is renewed. Yankonkwa!
Goyle stocks only higher grade fuels, further enriched with XP3, multifunctional enhancer, more efficient, eco-friendly, and at no extra cost. Available at every Goyle station. Ajibebia. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel